Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Dean's Mobility Training, Posture to Presence. My intention with today's video is to explain what GEM philosophy is and how does that facilitate better positioning or better posture. Over the years, me working on my own posture and alignment, I've encountered this technique. Now this technique involves 3 different steps and it's easy to apply. You can apply wherever you are, and what do you get out of it? You get better alignment. So I wanted to come on and explain what every component of this philosophy means, because anything that I do, whether it's my fascial release, it's training my body, or it's just making a reel or making a video, sitting down, playing with my kids, I'm always applying GEM principle. Application of this principle has improved my connection with my body, my overall function, has given me tools to follow through with when there is actual discomfort or pain in my body. It always works, and this is a beautiful thing, and I wanted to share with all of you so you can feel the connection that I feel with my body. Before we go into what GEM is, let me give you a little bit of history on myself. I have been a personal trainer for the last 16 years, a fascia stretch therapist for the last 14 years. So I've spent a lot of time understanding movement and how movement impacts our lifestyle and the other way around. We are feeding our body a lot of sensory data all the time. And over the years of working with clients, I've identified that more we become conscious of what kind of data we are feeding our body, there's a better chance to tap into our natural body's adaptability in a way that it works for us, as opposed to it just becoming something that dysfunctionally gets our body tighter and stiffer, which impacts us in a negative way. Your body's going to adapt one way or the other. Now, if you can take that adaptation on a conscious level, then you will notice yourself getting better every single year. My journey started about 14 years ago when I was in chronic pain, and through applying these things into my own experience, I found beautiful changes that have connected me to my body on a level that I feel I'm pain-free, and I'm also able to move with such a high function that I actually struggled with in my 20s. I turned 43 this year and I turned 44 next year. And I feel that I move better now than I did in my 20s. My function is a lot better. I enjoy every part of my life, whether it's working with clients, playing with my kids, cooking in the kitchen, driving to work, or anything you can think of. I owe it all to my GEM philosophy because it does allow me to feel connected to my body. Now, what is this GEM principle and how can that help you? Let's dive into that. GEM stands for grounding, engaging, and mindful awareness in your breathing pattern. Let's start with the grounding part. You probably have heard a lot about grounding, how grounding improves so much within your body if you're walking barefoot outside. That's not the grounding I'm referring to. To me, grounding means intention. Communicating to your environment that this is what I'm about to do and this is my intent. Let's use an example. If I'm sitting at work, I will ground through my feet. Now, do I need any special gadget to ground myself? No, you need your awareness. I'm going to bring my awareness into my feet. So what do I do with that awareness? How do I instruct my body over there? Most people have really tight ankles. So which means your ankle is stuck in plantar flexion. That's again, reflection of a modern living. And it essentially causes your ankle to get stiffer. Now the stiff ankle feeds your stiff hip and your stiff hip feeds your stiff ankle. So the moment you think of grounding, and let's say you are bringing your attention to your feet. So what you do is you bring your attention specifically to your heel. Your front of the foot is still touching the ground. You start to push your heel down. Now that tries to bring your ankle into dorsiflexion. Now that tiny little stimuli, if it's maintained all day long, can trigger your ankle to shift its overall texture, your fascia surrounding that junction. It starts to loosen up. You start to trigger your calf to let go. But most importantly, you're communicating with the ground that I'm here with my intent to sit. Now you have brought something to your sitting that wasn't present before. That's your intention. Now sitting is another topic that I could talk about for hours, and how we have made sitting the new smoking, yet given ourselves no power to get over that little hurdle of the modern living. You will be required to sit, you will be required to work on technology. So how do you go past that? This is where I find the GEM philosophy works really well, because you bring activity and intention back into the thing that you're doing. The moment you are grounding with intention, you're communicating with the environment, I want to sit and I'm here. That subtle heel drive, if you try it right now, you notice something shifts in your pelvic floor. Now you bring a little bit of balance around your pelvis, engaging your hip joint. It's a beautiful thing. Just by sitting, by paying attention to your feet, by pushing your heels down, by communicating to the environment that I want to sit, now you are creating activation around your hip joint. The moment you move on to the step number 2, that's engagement, you take a deep exhale. So what do I notice after this exhale is my core muscles, they feel they are engaged now. So now that engagement, that's your E, creates that inner stability, which allows your body to maintain that upright positioning. Now the thing is, in a modern culture, we have increased our reliance on the external environment to offer us stability. Now the problem is that it came with a cost, that your body feels no need to create that inner stability. So what you do, you start to slouch. You end up dropping yourself straight forward, and we dread the day that we're going to have a hunchback when we get older. And the interesting thing is you can avoid that just by bringing the attention back into your posture. And I find grounding and engagement offers your body that stability, or gives your body that stability, which makes retention of posture a lot easier. The moment I ground and I engage my core, I'm offering my body a good base, good stability in the center. And the only thing that I have to work on now is to make sure my breathing is diaphragmatic. So if you go back to grounding and engaging, these 2 steps, they also align your pelvic floor and your rib cage in a way that you can actually access your diaphragm a lot more with ease. So the next in-breath in this position, it's easy for me to inflate my stomach so the rib cage can go up, my lungs can expand, and that beautiful breathing cycle can complete the way it's meant to. Now, only thing now I have to be aware of that, am I mindfully breathing through my diaphragm? That's where the M piece is very, very crucial. So in which you are mindful of the fact my feet are grounded, you are mindful of the fact that my engagement is still present, so my body feels stable, and then you maintain that awareness in your diaphragm. Now, this sounds like it's a lot of things that your body will have to think about, or you will have to think about. And in the business of life, we are unable to do these things or make these small commitments because we have told ourselves the story, because we are amazing storytellers, that we don't have time. You don't have time to get better. I want you to sit with this. You don't have time to improve your mechanics. Even in this lack thought or limiting way of thinking about time or your own life, you're still making a choice. I don't have time, or in other words, I am refusing to make time to improve myself. You cannot change unless you change what you do. It's a very simple statement, but it's very deep. The moment you look into it in a way that it connects you to the deeper version of yourself. So going back to, you don't have time to apply these things, grounding, engaging, and mindful breathing. Your body is always learning. What we're trying to do is we're trying to make it adapt to a different way of use. You must have heard about 21 days. Anything that you do for 21 days, it gets registered as this is a new pattern and something new is going on. I need to pay attention to this, whether it's supplementation, whether it's movement, it's working out, exercising in the gym, or application of gym. So how I would use this is take that 21-day principle. Give yourself 5-minute breaks, or 5 minutes of a focus time 3 times a day. So that would be 15 minutes invested in practicing your gym. Now, first 5 minutes could be first thing in the morning when you get up. Whether you are sitting on the bed, sitting on a sofa, or you want to do in a cross-leg position or standing. It's up to you. Whatever is more convenient for you to be able to sustain good postural alignment, focus attention in a setting which you can dedicate to yourself every single day. 5 minutes. That's how you start. You bring your attention to what's touching the environment. My feet touching the environment, great. Let me push my feet down, push my heels down. Now your feet are grounded. You breathe out. Now your core is engaged. And now you maintain your mindful attention in your breathing pattern. You breathe into your diaphragm while your core is engaged, and breathe out until you find the core contraction gets a little deeper. You will find every breath out connects you to a deeper layer of core. 5 minutes. So what you've done in these 5 minutes is you communicated to the environment that posture is essential before I start moving. You have connected yourself back to your core. You connected yourself to a breathing pattern your body has forgotten because of a modern living. Now, these 5 minutes will improve your posture perhaps on an optimistic level for the next few hours. Now you take another 5-minute window, perhaps this is around your lunchtime, in which you may be around your office chair. I would pick something that you're spending a lot of time in all day long. If it's your office chair, then practice 5 minutes of gym sitting on the office chair. Why? Because that's a familiar environment. the moment you spend conscious 5 minutes, your body automatically will start to do some of those things itself. And the last time you can practice GEM, which will monumentally shift things for you, before bed. Now, advantage of doing it before bed, you're still connecting to your posture. You connect to your diaphragm. You set a parasympathetic tone because you're addressing your breathing through a conscious focus attention. You find yourself stepping away from all the busyness of the day and getting back into your body. Now, when you go to sleep, you will sleep a lot better. So 3 times a day, if you try GEM for 21 days, you will notice application of GEM starts to become easier. This is what happened in my case. And after 21 days, I extended the application by one more time, in which I am now doing some kind of activity. So what I picked was when I would be stretching a client, that I'm going to be cognizant of GEM when I'm working on a client for 5 minutes. And I kept adding more and more time as the weeks roll by. And this was 14 years ago. And now 14 years later, I find that my attention in the GEM stays all the time. I don't have to think about it. It's an autopilot, which reflects in my posture and function. I had shoulder pain, I had back pain, I had hip issues with the SI joint flaring up at least twice a year, especially if I do raking or if I was doing shoveling. No amount of resistance training was helping. It was just masking the issue because you can only strengthen what's accessible to you. I'll get into that in my future videos. The base of everything that I share in the future depends on what I'm saying in this moment. You need GEM to apply posture, and you need posture to improve anything about your physiology, whether that is connecting to your overall inner healing or whether that's connecting to your physical pain in a way. Now that's a two-way communication, and intuitively you start to know what my body needs. It's either working on mobility, it's either working on strengthening certain areas. My intention is to share with you all that I know. How do I connect with my body? But I know the number one limitation you will encounter is going to be your breathing pattern and your posture. Because if these two are not in check, no amount of work that you do, as I suggest, is going to create the outcome that you desire. Step one is GEM. How do you engage? How do you meet the environment? How do you partake with your life in a more conscious manner? It starts with grounding. Step two, you go into engagement. Now, this is where you engage. You create that subtle brace in your core just through your breath. And then you bring mindfulness and stay connected to the breath and grounding. That level of awareness not only will improve your posture and function, but it also you will find is such a phenomenal downregulating thing for your central nervous system. You will notice your stress levels will melt. Your engagement with life will become more positive. Your thoughts will shift. That's where your posture will meet your spiritual alignment. I will share with you my entire journey, how I got to the point where I'm at, where I feel happy and content no matter what's going on in my life. And in what's going on in my life over the past 5 years, there's been a divorce, there's been a breakup, death of a parent, death of a pet, loss of a job, COVID times where I couldn't really work with people, stress on every aspect of my life. And what helped me navigate through all of them was a level of presence, which I don't think I would have attained if I didn't have the connection that I feel with my body. I will share with you all those things in coming weeks, months, years. But this is the starting point. How do you apply GEM? And if you truly understand the application of this beautiful philosophy and how that can help you. If you would like to know any physical discomfort that you have and how GEM can help you in that process, leave a comment. I'll do my best to explain things based on your condition and how GEM can actually help you physically by shifting your alignment. Your hip hurts? Comment my hip hurts. Your shoulder hurts? Comment my shoulder hurts. And I'll tell you how GEM can help with shoulder pain and hip pain, and how it can help you identify which direction you need to go, mobilize, whether you need to create more stability or whether you need to create more strength. This is the starting point because it connects you to that initial two-way dialogue or communication which your body is seeking when it's in pain. If you're struggling with chronic pain, comment chronic pain, and I can tell you how GEM will bring you back from that state to a state of possibilities in which pain becomes nothing but a communication, and certainly it does not stay a hindrance in your lifestyle. The answers you seek are very simple in order to make your life better, and it all starts with posture. And posture depends on GEM. It connects you to your breath. It connects you to who you truly are. It brings down your central nervous system. So now you are feeling relaxed. You are in a regenerative state. You are in a present state. So take my challenge for 21 days and apply GEM 3 times a day for 5 minutes, once in the morning, once in the middle of the day, and once at night for 21 days. And come back and comment here and let me know how did that go for you. If you want it to be an interactive process and learn from me, follow my channel Posture to Presence on Instagram. My account is Dean's Mobility Training. But if you would like to work with me one-on-one, whether it's seeking a stretch, virtual coaching, or deepening the understanding of what GEM is and how that can help you get better in whatever physical improvements you seek, go on my website, www.deansmobilitytraining.com, and leave your application, and I will respond, and I'm here to help. I can help you overcome whatever it is, but it depends on one thing alone. Are you ready to receive that help? And you don't need to invest anything to be in that state. You just need to be aware enough to allow these words to sink deep enough for that to become a knowing that your body starts to do these things automatically. It's a beautiful connection. And I wish everyone in this world can feel that connection, and it makes you feel complete. It makes you feel whole. It makes you feel in control in a world where there's chaos all around us. So apply GEM. Practice, practice, practice. 3 times a day for 21 days, 5 minutes. Feel free to increase or decrease time based on your commitment, but give yourself 100% to the process. And once you have perfected GEM and you start to apply onto your life, now that's where the dialogue begins. How do I improve my hip mobility? Because you know how to anchor yourself and you don't feel mobile. How do I get rid of pain? Then you know how to create stability when your body is asking for in form of discomfort. I hope this message resonated with you and there was something in this for you. If you seek in-person guidance, you can go to my website, you can leave an application, or you can contact me on Instagram, Dean's Mobility Training. I would love to help. I'm a stretch therapist and a personal trainer and a mobility coach. And if you find this content is helping you, please subscribe to my channel. It certainly helps me to share a lot more with you guys. Spread the message, share with people that you feel can actually gain some help from learning something about the body. I appreciate you. Thank you for listening. And I look forward to how GEM helped you. Have a beautiful day.